is the Bill Squire Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bill Squire Show. I am your host. I don't know what my name is, though. And I'm here with my guest this week, Kevin McClister from Dude Nobody Cares podcast, and also Jake Van Wormer Tries Everything.
Yes, co-host, I guess, of that. Producer / co-host.
The Patreon thing that is going pretty good. I'm a little behind on it. I got too many podcasts to listen to these days. I'm like behind. What's your go-to podcast?
I've been out of the game a little bit lately, but Your Mom's House is always on the docket for me.
Yeah, I'm always that's like that one, and then Middle of Somewhere with Chad Daniels and Simonson, because that one's like a quick one. It's like 40 minutes, and so I can get it knocked out on my way to and from work.
Yeah, that's always good. Your Mom's House goes like 3 hours.
Sometimes,
a lot of times, those Joe Rogan links.
Yeah, so which is fine because they're funny and they keep it moving.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, with all the videos of old men talking dirty and masturbating.
Did you happen to catch either of the live ones they did?
I thought about it, and because the reviews seem to be they're just trying to gross people out, I didn't go for it.
It's too much, man.
That's what I thought. Like that's kind of like the vibe that I got is like I'm like I don't know if I want to just be grossed out. Like I think they're incredibly funny, but some of the there's a reason I listen to that show more than I watch it.
Yeah, definitely. It's just shock factor when they do that.
Yeah, I'm not.
But it's still funny because it's just Tom Segura laughing and his wife being like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
So that part's funny, but it's really just like
a little over the top. I did like seeing Charo super drunk.
Oh yeah,
because I said they showed that on an episode.
Mm-hmm.
So you got into the podcasting thing. Has it been 3 years now? Almost.
Let me think.
2.5.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years in April, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about 2.5 years now. You guys have built a nice following.
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't get my sunglasses, but I'll take those with Campy.
They're on the website now, dudenobodycares.com.
There you
can
go.
buy sunglasses.
He's like, I'm going to send a t-shirt and everything all at once. I'm like, well, I could have been wearing sunglasses this whole time, but I guess I'll just wear my Ray-Bans because I'm sure you're not making Dude Nobody Cares Ray-Bans. So,
Matt Campy's slipping on shit. Although he's been doing a lot lately. The website is revamped. There's going to be more stuff in the merch.
The Dudio looks
soon.
great. Like
yes.
He comes in waves. He comes and goes. He does a lot, then he does a little, does a lot. The one episode, and this is actually what I wanted to start off with. You have been on every single episode until recently. I think you were out on a trip. You were in Tennessee or something.
Yeah, buddy's bachelor party. We went to Nashville.
There you go. So you were in Nashville, and one episode that you're not there, they go completely different style of show than it's been.
Really? Oh, I didn't listen to it.
You didn't listen to it?
No. I don't listen to our podcast.
Well, this one is, Brian Sternick was on, and he was great.
Yeah,
and it was funny, but it was just so different because, first of all, like they're eating the whole time because he bought the Travis Scott McDonald's meal. So they're just eating the whole time. You just hear like Matt just like
such a pet peeve of mine. And they just don't. Well, I think.
And that's what they bring up. They're like, Kevin would hate this episode so much because of this, but he's basically doing all this stuff when Dad's not home.
Yeah, really.
Dad wasn't in the studio, so they're like eating on the podcast, and then the thing that I like, the reason you should probably go back and listen to it, and I don't mean to blow up his spot, but Campy used the N-word.
I heard that part. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did hear that part.
Yeah, he's like, no, but I used an A. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
It does not matter, you
Personally,
idiot.
To me, leave the A or don't. Just
that's
don't not on the table.
Just say the N-word. We've come so far.
And my favorite part was he bleeped out Jake for saying something offensive right before that, and then left in him saying the N-word.
Yeah. It was. I was just like, Kevin's gone for one episode, and the rails. It's off the rails hard, and then they're like spraying, or not spraying, but like while Brian was trying to do the 20-second game or the 10-second game, the memory game where you go, hey, name as many Johns as you can in this amount of time. He's spraying with a leaf blower and stuff like that. So he got a little wacky while you weren't there.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to go back and listen to the whole thing. I saw Sternick took his shirt off.
Yeah.
Looking good, Brian. Love that.
Yeah, Sternick, who's 25, but he could definitely pass for, mid-50s.
He could be my dad, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of a look to him.
But no, I wouldn't pick anyone else but Sternick to fill in for me. Love that.
No, it was
so
funny.
much.
He's a really funny guy, and it was a really funny episode. So I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. It was just a much different vibe, and it's funny when like Matt gets an idea and he's like, "I'm gonna go with this," and then like halfway through he's like, "I don't know if I should have done." Like he just he's like second guess himself like constantly, and then he goes like, "No, this is the right thing to do. I'm gonna use this leaf blower on my guest."
That's where I got to come through with the logic.
Yes.
Just the simple logic of things he cannot understand is
Right.
why I'm there sometimes.
Like how a leaf blower is very loud, and
That's correct.
that audio is a little tough to listen to. Now, luckily, I was in my car, but if I was in headphones,
Yeah.
that would have been pretty goddamn miserable.
I'll give him props, though. I mean, it's not like it takes a whole lot to sit and record this kind of thing,
Yeah.
but he did it without me there.
Yeah, that's
He
good.
was audio engineering all by himself.
Good for him, yeah. That's one thing I should probably step up. I just like plug and go and just record it into my phone.
That's
And
really all you need.
yeah, it's every once in a while. Like I was doing a little bit more tech when I first started doing this podcast, and it was too much for just me to do. So I kind of pared it down just to like get where I want to be, and then eventually I want to bring in somebody to be like my full-time producer and help everything.
Hey, yo, I'm a full-time producer if you need one.
We'll talk.
All right.
So one thing I want to talk. So you've been doing the podcast for a while. You stopped drinking like a year plus ago, probably like a year and a half almost.
Yeah, it's I hit over 500 days.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
So you've been doing that for a while. But the thing that I was actually curious about today is like, what Kevin never talks about a lady or anything like that. Do you have a girlfriend or anything?
No, I don't.
Do you? What's because Jake, he's got some stories and
Yeah.
he's like that. But what's your situation?
Well, I guess when I was drinking, that's really all I cared about doing.
Yeah.
Was going and getting drunk.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped, I mean, they all say like you're supposed to not attempt that sort of thing for like a year or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I haven't even.
So you're just focusing on the sobriety and not
Yeah,
worrying about
that's
anything else.
more important to me right now.
Okay,
So I haven't
fair.
even tried that because it's, I don't know, doing
fair.
that kind of thing sober is scary to me.
And that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if it was like you're intimidated because you're not drinking anymore.
Yeah, definitely,
as
sort of.
how to figure out how to do that, because I feel like you've been not drinking long enough now that you could maybe attempt and dip a toe into that pool and figure out if you need to borrow the dog.
Yeah, that would help probably.
Just go walk around a park for a while with my dog. She gets attention. So,
Yeah.
So,
No, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. That's especially sober. I don't know, because usually where you go meet people or what I would go meet people is at a bar.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go sit at a bar by myself and be the weird sober dude sitting at the bar.
You're just waiting for a girl to be like, "Hey, I don't drink, but I'll buy you a drink." It's like that comes across
That's-
as real
yeah.
Chivalrous.
That's not a good move. But yeah, I'll get out there eventually, man.
All right. What are some activities we can do? Let's brainstorm things that you can do in the future when you're ready to go and meet some ladies.
That's a good question.
I'm thinking, things like yoga. Always predominantly ladies in yoga classes.
True, very true. I've thought about that because it's I mean, I don't do any working out either, so
Yeah.
that could be an option too.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe
that's like
yoga.
So yoga or any sort of like maybe a spin class. There's the exercise route you can go. Maybe take a cooking class.
Yeah, I don't know how to cook, famously.
There you go.
I would screw up eggs, as Matt Campy likes to tell everyone. So yeah, that's probably some sort of working out or cooking class. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah. Do you have a certain type that you like to go for? Like when it comes to women, like you redhead, tall, short, what do you, yeah.
Shorter than me, which is pretty short.
Yeah. How tall are you?
5'7" on a good day. Yeah.
That's one of the things like I know is important to a lot of women, but I feel like when you have not like small guy syndrome, but like when you just have that confidence, be like, this is how tall I am. I'm just gonna date whoever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, like Mary's 5'2", so you're taller than her,
Right.
so she doesn't. So like,
I mean,
yeah,
it's not hard to find a girl that's shorter
right?
than me,
Exactly.
but-
So I feel like that's like all these girls like, I need a 6-foot guy. Like, no, you just want somebody that when you put on a pair of heels, you're not going to tower over them.
Right.
So like, I think that's completely reasonable, and you need to calm down with this whole 6 foot thing.
Yeah.
Because like I'm 6 foot tall, and it doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
Just
But
makes
yeah, I never had like the short guy angry
yeah.
syndrome thing. Like,
where you have to get like buff and like try and like prove to people like I'm a tough guy.
yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna get taller.
Right.
Like, what's the point in being angry about it?
Well, some people are angry about it, and they, so they control what they can, and that's what it comes down to.
And those dudes get in fights at bars a lot.
Yes, I know.
And often go home with girls too. So maybe I should do that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
All right, let's get you on some steroids. We'll get you in some. Yeah, and you'll clean up at the bar fighting because they'll be drunk. You'll be sober.
Exactly.
So
I'm drunk on steroids. Who wants to fight?
Steroid drunk. I think that's called a roid rage.
Yes.
Did you see? There's a fight at Topgolf the other night.
I think you posted that on Twitter. I just watched that.
Yeah, that was messed up.
What was the deal there? It was about a canceled or declined credit card or something?
Declined credit card or something like that, but they were paying cash. So it was basically a misunderstanding, and people like got too heated too fast and just started throwing punches. And I think the girl threw a punch at the server first, but the server called her a name or something is what the story was. But basically, people just being uncivil. Like,
Topgolf, man.
Yeah, it's Topgolf.
Have a good time.
Yeah, but someone in a comment did say, "I'm proud of you guys for not using any clubs."
Yeah,
because they're right there. It would have made a lot of sense to grab a club and start beating somebody with it, but you didn't.
Or N-words. Were there any N-words thrown out?
I don't think there were, but that might have been like the video that I tweeted out was like someone screen recording another video, so it could have started that way, but I don't think so.
Well, congratulations on not saying the N-word.
Yeah, that's what 2020 is. Oh, you're just shitty. You weren't racist and shitty.
Right, yeah.
But they were like, I don't know. It's just one of those things you watch and you go, oh God, this could have been avoided if one person had just been like, I'm gonna keep my cool.
It's so stupid, man.
Yeah, people
You're that angry.
People are on edge.
I know, man.
People are on edge.
You're going to Topgolf. Just have a good time.
Yeah, and expect to pay $15 for a drink.
Yeah, like never been to that. I've
never been to it, but I know it's not cheap.
Do you golf?
No.
I've been to a driving range once. It's not for me, man. But also, I used like really shitty clubs that they provided for me, so that didn't help. But
yeah, I've been to driving ranges before, and I like that. I golfed like once, but this is like all like a long time ago. But this year is one of those times where you're just like, maybe I will get into golf just so I have something to do.
Yeah.
Like, my Saturdays are like me just walking the dog for hours and hours.
Right.
Maybe teach her to golf. Is there a way to play dog golf?
Mm-hmm.
Where I hit a ball with a golf club and then she goes and gets it and then comes, because that would be fun.
Golf ball fetch?
Golf ball fetch.
Yeah.
I might be able to set that up. So yeah, I was curious about your dating situation and because I'm coupled up right now and we've had some ups and downs, but we're pretty good. But just having that, I like meeting people is terrifying. So we got those ideas. We got the cooking class. We got the yoga. There's always Planned Parenthood. Hang out there. It's kind of a hack joke because they fuck. But but also they're there.
Go protest outside Planned Parenthood.
Protest the protesters.
There you go. Yeah.
I've actually done that before. Where once someone that I knew was going there and they were nervous to go there because of the protesters outside. So I went and ran distraction and just told them that I'm like, this is what we do, right? We come out here and we protest and then we can do gay stuff together. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we're going to suck each other's dicks, right? And they're like, no. They're like, we're here to keep him from killing babies. I'm like, but then we suck each other's dicks.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait,
that'll terrify him, dude.
It was pretty funny. And then like I have video of it. I don't. It's safe somewhere. But at one point they start filming me, and I tell them to turn their phone sideways, and they actually listen to that. I'm like, so they can be taught.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things like where you just like it's all older white guys trying to be like just relaying this bullshit information. Like, oh, they're selling baby parts in there. I'm like, what baby parts? Like, and how you can't part out a baby,
right?
Like who
like the. Just the level of shitty you have to be to protest at Planned Parenthood. Like, those girls don't want to be going in there to get an abortion most of the time, and you're just standing there making them feel terrible.
Yeah, and they're. I mean, but that's a tactic that people use in those situations is guilt, make them feel bad. Is when someone's at their most vulnerable, so you think you might be able to get through to them with your message of peace and love. That is, I hate you. You're a sinner.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
but
so
whatever.
stupid. The scum of the earth, those people.
Yeah. Well, anybody like that just like it's so avoidable, and it's one of those things where like people act like it's in the like you'll see people on Twitter and they'll be like, "Well, I got to speak for especially with like the Supreme Court thing going on. I got to speak for the unborn children that were killed in this country." Like, yeah, but then how come you don't speak for the children that are here that you don't seem to give a fuck about?
Right.
Yeah, like a kid's in a cage, and you're like, well, that kid's parents fucked them over, so they should be in that cage.
Right. They care about the unborn kids, but once you're born, they're like, fuck you.
Yeah, they're on your own. George
Right.
Carlin.
Yeah.
That's, he was a brilliant man.
He was.
So another thing I wanted to talk to you about. So you got the podcast. You have you're pretty into a lot of the things that I'm into. Like you like a lot of comedians, but we did a like way back in the early days of Dude Nobody Cares. You were really into Chris D'Elia. How's that going these days?
Not a fan, gotta
Yeah,
say, of his behavior is despicable. No, that whole situation sucks. I mean, I don't even know the details anymore. Like, is he charged with something?
He wasn't charged with anything as far as I know. I think it was just like
him
people
being
telling stories about him trying to go out with, young girls. And yeah, there's conflating stories too, where it's like some people are like, oh, he goes after, young girls, and then like some of them are 17 or 16. And then like there's also like him putting out things like a girl says she's 17 and he just like cuts her off, like doesn't talk to her anymore.
Yeah, because I saw a couple of those where somebody messaged him like screenshots,
Yeah.
and the girl said like, I'm 12, and it was like, you cannot message this person anymore.
Right.
Like he deleted it.
Yeah, he like blocked it. Like,
But it sounds like he's just being generally a creep to, even if they're 18, too young of girls to be creeping on the internet.
that's why it's so important that if you're a young guy and you're listening to this and you're trying to develop your fetish, go old.
Yeah.
Cougars aren't calling people out. If you're, if you just stay in your age and older, you can be just fine.
If you go old enough, they won't even have any social media either.
Or just Facebook.
Yeah.
And they don't have that many friends.
Right. They don't know how to screenshot your DMs.
They
I'll
don't
tell
know
you
how to
that.
tag. Yeah. And if they do, they're only going to get like one message because the font's so fucking big. Like
72-point font on your phone.
big old fucking screenshot of like one text bubble, and then like each screenshot's a whole like I don't have 2 hours to go through all these
You gotta
texts. Yeah.
swipe through HEY. Oh,
Yeah.
hey.
Oh,
That took a while
Jesus,
to get
that took
to.
a long time. Oh. So yeah, that's my once you get back out there, go for that older lady demographic. They're willing, they're ready, they're able. A lot of them are like working, they're on their first divorce already or second divorce, so they got some of that money, the settlement money. It's not a bad route to take.
Maybe they'll settle for me.
There you
Because
go.
they have no other options.
There you go. That's I was hooking up with this one girl, this one lady that was a few years old. This is probably like when I was like 5 or 6 years ago when I was first out of my marriage. And she was in her 40s and she was so hot, but she had like, a little bit of wear and tear on her. Like she had something went wrong with her stomach, and like she had like a big old scar on her stomach, but she was still so goddamn hot that you're just like, whatever. I don't really care about scars.
Yeah.
Scar, whatever. Someone try and cut you open. I don't know. I'm not gonna ask.
Planned
You wanna tell
Parenthood,
me?
maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, give me those baby parts.
Yeah.
But she was hot and but man, she was bananas crazy. Like she showed up at my apartment at the time, like just super hammered, and I was just like, "What are you doing here?" And like I had to send her on her way. Like I had to call her an Uber and get her out of there because I was like, "I don't want you here right now. You're so drunk, and it's very sorry. The dog's chewing on a dog chew that stinks."
That's all right.
Yeah,
She's cute enough to get away with it.
to you.
To me, yeah.
I'm at my wit's end with this little piece of shit.
I don't have to deal with you when I leave, huh?
Yeah. So that lady but she also had a hot sister, and they both had like giant tits to like like where you're just like, what's going on here?
Implants?
No, they were like giant natural tits, and hers were like so good and still very perky for her age. So I was just like, this is, like I was tempted to just like deal with the crazy for a little while.
Uh-huh. How old? Like 40?
She was probably 41 or 42 when we were hooking up. She was about 10 years older than me because I was about 33 at the time, 32 or 33. So, yeah, she was hot though. She was very hot, and but not worth the struggle.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those things. Oof. I don't know. What do you get? What's going on? How was the bachelor party? What'd you do down there?
It was fun, man. There's a ton of restrictions in Nashville, which I mean, for the better.
Everybody knows, yeah.
But the first night we went to Kid Rock's Honky Tonk.
Oh, nice.
So we had like our own VIP section upstairs. One waiter for everybody, and it was just like all you can eat appetizers and drinks and stuff. And they had a band.
So you pay like a flat fee for a place like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
it was
sweet.
It was like 80 or 90 something a person, but it was all you can eat, all you can drink.
Yeah. You had to get them at the buffet though, because you're not drinking. So
they've just brought it all out.
Yeah,
they brought everything out to
Okay.
us. They had a band playing, good band. I mean, every musician there is amazing.
Yeah.
So you know,
Now is it rock or is it more country, or they kind of go back and forth?
they played this band, at least in particular. They played a little bit of everything. Like obviously the country hits, like top 40 country hits that are on the radio.
Yeah.
But then you know they played Garth Brooks. They played some Leonard Skinner, and then they throw in like they played a Prince song.
Oh, nice.
They played what was the other one? They played a Fall Out Boy song. That kind of threw everybody for a loop.
How'd that go?
Pretty well, at least up in our section.
Yeah,
it
you
went
guys were
well.
like, okay, all right.
But yeah, they were throwing in a little bit of everything. Played the national anthem. I did not take a knee.
Okay.
I wanted to, but I was afraid someone was going to beat me up in Nashville if I took a knee for the national anthem.
I would have. We got to get you all roided up, and then you can take a knee in Nashville.
Take a knee right in front of the stage.
That's right.
But yeah, good band. The second day, we got a party bus and drove through like the downtown area a couple times. That restrictions on the party bus, you have to wear a mask at all times.
Oh, really?
You're not allowed to stand up. No dancing or anything like that. The lady that was like bartending, she said they got pulled over twice in the past week, and the bus driver got a ticket, and individual people on the bus got tickets for not wearing their mask. Even like just pulling it down to talk to someone.
But like, what about when you're drinking?
You can pull it down to drink
And then you gotta put
or
it right back
smoke
up.
or
Yeah.
whatever, but they're super strict on it.
Well,
And the funniest shit was, like, everyone there hates the mayor, which feels very, like, old-timey to me.
Right.
We hate the mayor. But, like, they wanted to make sure that this isn't our rule. This is the mayor telling you you can't wear a mask, or you have to wear a mask. Yeah. So, like, I don't know.
it's probably like a liberal mayor in a very conservative state.
It's a Democratic mayor who just got in. Like,
Yeah.
something happened to the Republican guy that was the mayor. So they had, like, some sort of quick election.
Like a recall election
and he
type thing?
won.
Yeah.
So they all just fucking hate the mayor.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was still fun. Like, it was raining that day, but they had tarps up, so like everybody got kind of wet, but it could have been worse. And then we went and got some hot chicken.
Oh, fuck yeah.
A place called Party Fowl. Great name for a hot chicken place.
I like it.
So that was delicious. And then we just went back to the house, had a rooftop patio, cleared up that night, so we just sat up there and listened to music.
And no
talked.
strippers or anything, though?
No, the girls went to a strip club.
Okay.
But none of the dudes went.
Yeah.
The Bachelor didn't really want to go to a strip club.
Yeah,
so.
I'm kind of that mindset where, like, strip clubs are not that enticing to me. Like, oh, go to one, but, like, it's not, yeah.
Yeah, the ones there, I went to one there like 5 years ago. I was in Nashville. They're BYOB, first of all.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool because we
Yeah.
just walked, like, at the time. I think
That
we had-
actually changes it, because then you're not overpaying for drinks. So I think,
Right.
and then you get kind of wasted.
It's like maybe $20-$30 to get in.
Yeah.
But we, like, when I was there before, we had like 6 dudes and we walked in with like 2 30-packs.
Yeah.
And they just bring out ice buckets and fill them up for you.
That's awesome.
And then I think you can buy liquor inside, but no beer. And then they're fully nude. I don't know what the rules are, but they're allowed to be fully nude. Maybe because they don't sell liquor.
Yeah, I think that's usually, because I think it's similar in Michigan. But all right, well, that sounds better than the rules here, where, like, right now they, like, you can't even go near anybody.
Yeah.
So if you were at I'm sure it's the same thing there, where you can't get lap dances or anything like
They
that.
said all the girls got lap dances.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
said
they
it.
went to a lady strip club.
They went to the same one that I went to 5 years
Okay,
ago.
all right. Well, good for
But
them.
they all went and had a blast and
good
got
for
all
them.
got dances. And I was telling them that when we were there before, one of the girls was climbing up the pole on the main stage, and she hit the ceiling and broke the ceiling.
Jeez.
So like debris fell down onto the stage. It was hilarious.
So Debris wasn't one of the dancers?
No.
Please welcome to the stage, Debris.
She did also fall though. So I don't know. Her name
okay?
could have been Degree. I think.
All right. Well,
But
we'll assume.
They had to pause everything and like bleach off
yeah.
clean the ceiling up and shit.
That's funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, BYOB strip club. I mean, that was ideal. That was like the best one I've been to. Deja Vu in Nashville. Check it out, folks.
I've been to, well, there's a comedy club in Missouri and Columbia that was called Deja Vu, which sounds like a strip club.
It does.
But then there was a strip club that we went to, and they did bed dances.
What is that?
So you lay in a bed, and then like it's like the private room, and you lay in the bed, and then they like give you, you're basically getting a lap dance, but you're laying down. I'm like, this is definitely gross.
Yeah.
I did not, because like there's different rooms that they could like take you into the private rooms, and I went to one of them, and I was just like, boy, I thought I was gonna sit on a couch, but sitting on a bed's so much worse.
It seems like too intimate for a stripper.
Yeah, it was pretty. I wasn't even like turned on. I'll be honest. I didn't even get hard because I was so grossed out by the whole situation.
Yeah, that's
and like I had to apologize. I'm like, hey, sorry, I just you're too hot. Because she was super hot. Like it was one of those things where I'm like, you are very hot, but I am just really, really skeeved out right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be on this bed.
Just feels like you're in like a stranger's bed. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't sound good.
Because there's so much jizz in that bed for sure. Like
Yeah.
there's so much. And I just like,
Gross.
so like I left and my friend was still there. He's like, you're gonna, I'm like, yeah, just text me when you're done, man. I'll come get you.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. So I like went back like 2 hours later. He like stayed there the whole night. He's one of those guys like he didn't really wouldn't spend money, but like he had like this grimy charm where like girls would like him because he had like long hair and a beard.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'd just sit there and talk to girls all night and just like and that felt like he thought that was like a power move to be like, yeah, they're supposed to be out making money, but they're just talking to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, there's nobody in there.
Right. They
It
have
was
nothing
not
else to do.
of course they're gonna go over and talk to you. And like
The ATMs at strip clubs are dangerous.
oh fuck yeah.
Well, you can ask Jake about that.
Yeah,
if you've heard that
I've
story.
heard that story. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming through.
Yeah, thanks for having me,
and
man.
doing the podcast of what can you plug on here? We got the-
Dude, Nobody Cares. Anywhere you're listening to this or watching on YouTube. You're on YouTube, right?
yes.
Yeah, you can listen or watch. DudeNobodyCares.com is revamped. New merch section. There's going to be even more in there. There's going to be some shirts on there soon. Patreon.com/DudeNobodyCares.
It's only $2.
$2.
And I'm a big fan of their podcast. I've been listening for over a year now, and it's really funny, and it's
And yeah, if
it's
you're-
local people. Like, here's one thing that makes me a little crazy when people are like, oh, they're so supportive of like Cleveland and stuff like that when it comes to certain things, but like hey, here's people doing things, like support it, and like and like no, just check it out, and then like let's build a scene here. I want to build like a podcast scene here. I want to build a comedy scene here. I want to build all these different things. The coasts are toast right now.
Right.
You can't go to LA or New York, and everybody's leaving there anyway.
I mean, half the podcasts I listen to anymore, if they're in LA or New York, they have to Skype or whatever,
Yeah.
Zoom somebody in.
Yep. So give things, give local podcasts a chance.
Yeah, but I think, like we got a really good following. We have some of the most loyal listeners.
You guys got some crazy loyal
yeah,
listeners. Like,
shout out to all of them, dude.
There's some that are just like all about it. Like some of those girls, some of which have some interesting things happening on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
some boobies and stuff.
Some
that's
OnlyFans
fun.
links up on there somewhere.
Don't mind that.
But yeah,
to have that fan base, like we had that for the Alan Cox show. I don't have that fully yet for this show, but I'm building.
Yeah,
I'm
you'll
getting
get there.
Yeah, getting that finding that groove, trying to still figure out exactly what I'm doing with this show.
Yeah.
Which is, like I like having different people on that I think are interesting, and it's comedy, but it's also just like having good conversations. Like sometimes it ends up being like straight therapy.
Yeah, it takes a while, man. I mean, I know you know that,
Yeah.
but like we didn't really hit a stride till like 40, 50, 60 episodes in.
Yeah.
Like we've had funny shit, for the first 50 for the first year, but like really in the past year and a half, it's been
to
better.
get that like to get like a theme for the show to like really know what you're doing each week and
find your own
know what to
voice,
expect.
find who each of the three of us are on the show,
right.
and play to those strengths and weaknesses. And
Matt is the captain and dumbass.
correct.
I feel like I'm hard on him because he's not really that stupid.
I know,
but he plays up his stupidity.
but it's so easy to give him a hard time for it,
so
and
funny.
everyone loves it. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna continue to do that.
Me too.
But yeah, man, I think we're starting a decent little podcast scene here.
I think
Then there's
so
a
too.
lot of other podcasts going on, like even just.
Sternick's got a good one.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard his. What is that? The Guiltless?
Yeah.
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 I gotta listen to that.
Yeah. And that's like how I could tell that he was good on your podcast. I'm like, oh, because he's been doing this with his buddy, and like he's got the chops already to just go in there and be entertaining and not give one word answers and stuff like that. Where some
Right.
people yeah, I've been to a strip club.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been to the bed. It was scary.
The bed. Oh man, the bed was very. And like, what's weird about that? I know if we're gonna wrap up, but then I remembered this.
We got time for more bed stories.
We got more bed stories. Like I've done creepier, grosser stuff.
Right.
Like I've gone to like Asian massage parlors and gotten hand jobs and blow jobs in places like that. I've paid for sex. I've done weird things. I was in the Philippines doing weird
Right.
things.
Yeah.
But that Missouri bed dance fucked me up.
It just
I
seems
was
like
so grossed out by it.
It's a weird.
There was a bed bug. It wasn't in Missouri, but like bed bugs were always on my mind when I was a road comedian. So I'm just like, this is how I get bed bugs. This is it right here.
Yeah, that's
and I
not
like
good.
the girl's like grinding on me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you're just too hot. I can't get a boner, which is that makes no sense.
It's like trying to be like so intimate in a strip club.
Yeah.
Which is so grimy and like
Yeah.
you know what you're getting when you go in.
Yes.
Like why are you trying to make me lay in a
So-
bed and be like
It was like in a balcony, so like there was some privacy to it, which almost made it worse.
Yeah.
because you knew people were fucking in that bed.
then you start thinking like, okay, this is cool. Like we're in your bedroom. I can kind of, put myself in that place. But then you start thinking, I open that door and we're in the fucking grimy strip club
Yeah.
and whatever city you're in. And
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a weird.
it's no good.
All right, well now we'll wrap it up. Follow Kevin on Twitter too at KevBaby.
KevBaby325, correct.
KevBaby325. You're still on Instagram, are you?
No, just Twitter.
Just
and I
Twitter.
think I'm going to keep it that way.
All
Matt
right.
wants me to get a Instagram, but
Well, you be your own man.
yeah, I don't like Facebook,
I don't like Facebook either.
and they own Instagram.
Yes.
So
I don't really like any of them, honestly. But I do them because I have to. All right. So, yeah, check out Do Nobody Cares podcast and follow Kev on Twitter. And then enjoy the rest of this episode. Got an Instagram hottie coming up. All right. Hey, everybody. That was fun. I like the way that started. I think we're just going to go with that. She did rip a mask earlier. She's very anti-mask.
Yeah, I
She's,
get it.
she's very political. But that's why I took her vagina out. Because I'm like, listen, I am very pro-choice and everything in real life. But when you're my property, like that dog is, I control your vagina.
Yes.
But also,
I witnessed my first person getting kicked out of a restaurant for not wearing a mask today.
oh, today.
Yes, today.
Yes, on the day that we get to talk about it. I
Yes,
love it.
yeah.
What restaurant do you want to say? Or
I can say, yeah, Cleveland Vegan.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, which is like the last place you would think someone would come in without a mask, right?
Yeah, and then they go, well, where's all the food?
Right.
These are all set in there. Oh,
Yeah.
what a weirdo.
Yeah, but the guy was like so nice to her too. He's
Yeah.
like, if you want to step outside, we'll take your order there.
Yeah.
And like you could just, I don't know what she was saying, but you could just see the face, and she's trying to explain like, why does she have to wear a mask? And
Because
just rolling
everybody
your
needs to
eyes.
wear a mask.
Exactly.
It's just,
not
it's
just
so
you.
simple. It's everybody needs to wear a mask.
Right.
It's like at this point too, you're just being a dick.
Exactly. That's what I
like
said.
to a
Yeah.
severe, like this mask order in Ohio has been going since July.
Beginning? Yeah.
Well, the mask order started in
Yeah.
July, and so restaurants have to follow that in order to stay open. So they are going to wear masks, and also it helps.
Right.
I feel like this week is a good week that is very pro mask. That if there's one week where wearing a mask has been proven, it's the week where the president, who doesn't like to wear a mask, got COVID.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we don't have to get political, although I do know on your Instagram story you are very
I am.
active in speaking your mind about what you believe in, and I appreciate it. And there's so many things out there that it's astounding to me. Like whenever I share stuff, like I lose followers in droves.
Oh,
I
I
lost
do
like
too,
100,
yeah.
200 followers last week because I was like, hey, I don't like when my president endorses racism.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I understand. Yeah. I lose followers too. And, at first I'm like, should I say stuff? Should I not? And I'm like, no, I'm going to say it. I don't care if I'm losing followers. I don't want you following me if you're racist or,
And the
whatever.
idea, though, is like for every person that unfollowed me, there were a few people that reached out to me like, I know what the Proud Boys were. I'm glad that you shared that. And like, that's so much more worth it to me because I feel like there's a lot of people that are like that are using the things that I share or the things that you share to educate themselves. They may not be as outspoken about it, but they're at least aware now. And I think that's good. And I think it's one thing where people on, the right, they really like to justify these things all the time. So they'll jump through hoops and stuff like that to try and be like, oh, well, the Proud Boys aren't this thing that they're trying to say. It's like, no, they are. They are. They like to put just enough disinformation out there so that people like you will dismiss them. But the proof is in the pudding. They are what they are.
Yeah, they're not quiet about it. But, I always say that it may feel like discouraging because you see all this hate and people just, you know what, I'm not going to fight. I'm not even going to argue with someone. And I'm like, no, people are listening. It might not feel like it. And it might not be, the person you want to change their mind. Other people are still going to change their mind or, get educated. Like you said, not knowing who the Proud Boys are.
All right. Switching gears a little bit. So you have a bunch of pets. I just got a dog. And yesterday I helped my brother move and he's got a cat. What do you like more, cats or dogs? I know you like both.
Cats.
Cats?
Yes.
You like cats more than dogs?
Yes, I know. I have.
But you have big, beautiful
massive
dogs.
Yes, yeah.
Is that why?
Yes.
Because they're so crazy big?
They're just, cats just do whatever they want. If they want to cuddle, they'll cuddle. If they don't, they're just like, screw you, I'm going to go do whatever.
And dogs need attention.
So much more attention, yeah.
A lot more attention. All right.
I'm lazy. I like the cats.
I'll give you that, but I like dogs just because. And like I'm still working. She's still a puppy, so she like eventually like once you get a dog to where they are just chill, that's great.
Right.
But you have what's Drama, the big one? I saw the video of Drama going down the stairs.
Yes.
And it's the funniest thing. She's got this big, giant, shaggy dog, and he goes down the stairs like he's made of porcelain. It's so funny.
Yeah, okay. Yes, yeah. I have Drama and Tarly. They're litter mates, and Drama's only part-time with us. She's my mother-in-law's dog, but we've been watching her, so... she was new to the steps. She was very scared, so it took a long time to get her to go up. But now, she just goes down and thumps.
That's funny.
And then Scarlet, she's our English Mastiff. So,
some big ass dogs. Some big ass dogs. And I was helping my brother move. When's the last time you had to move?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. It's the best to not have to move.
Yeah, screw
There's
it.
something like even when you're moving up, like you're getting into a better situation, just the process, like there's excitement, but man, seeing everything in his house yesterday, and it's a great situation. He just bought his own house.
Yeah.
He's living with his girlfriend. They're doing well. He's on his way to where he wants to be, but just I know he took 10 days off of work. He's like, I can't do work while I'm doing all this because it's one of those things where it's just too ridiculous. And so like being over there and helping him move everything, which he didn't even have a ton of stuff, but it's just one of those things where you just like getting everything organized and set up and everything. It's exhausting. It's so like for someone that just likes to like have things set and forget it and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Like he's got a lot more stuff than I do too.
Yeah.
So
It's exhausting.
So you are on OnlyFans. You've been started, I want to say in February?
January.
Yep. Okay. So you're coming close to a year on January.
I know.
You were one of my first follows on OnlyFans.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
That's exciting.
And I'm a big fan. You do a lot of really good content. I appreciate that you have a scene partner, which a lot of girls don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I still feel like a newbie. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and I just put myself on this like high expectations, and I don't want to make anybody, regret signing up for me. So thank you. I appreciate that.
I like it. You do really good work, and it's very, I don't know, it seems like you enjoy it too, which I think is one of the most important things when you're doing something like that.
Definitely.
Is when you're, putting it all out there. If you're putting it all out there for me, I want you to enjoy putting it all out there. I don't want to be like, I'm doing this against my will or anything like that. That's not sexy.
No, it's not.
So you've been doing it for a while. I'm sure there's been some ups and downs. One thing I have a question for you about is the Bella Thorne thing.
Yes.
And how exactly that affected the sex workers on OnlyFans. Because I feel like people have tried to explain it to me, but I feel like you explaining it is going to be, and I've tried to regurgitate what they've said,
Right.
but I feel like it coming from the horse's mouth is the best.
Yeah, so a lot of the girls, when that happened, so what happened was Bella made the OnlyFans account. She promised nude photos, and it was like $200, for photos or whatever. When people signed up for that, she wasn't even fully nude. So at that time, all of those people who bought it reached out to OnlyFans to get a refund. So they completely froze everything. Normally, I don't think you can get refunds on there, but something like that, I don't know if it's just because there's so many
so
people.
much backlash about it, and they gotta take care of their interest too, because people are gonna leave the platform.
Exactly.
And it was one of those things where she's like, I'm gonna do nude photos, but she's doing like a hand bra or something like that.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Like, come on, but
show your tits.
Right. Not that hard. But so it froze all of that. I think within the first 24 hours, they also put a cap on the paid messages. I forget what it is.
I want to say it was like $100 because
Yeah.
it could, and I think that's the thing that is the most, it's one thing to do the freeze everything, but when you put a cap on something, there's a lot of girls that are doing some stuff that they have a certain market for,
Right.
and they charge a lot of money for it.
Exactly.
And when you put that cap on it, that's really debilitating for them.
Definitely. Yeah. So that didn't affect me. I don't do a lot of that. Most of my stuff is it's not pay for content.
Right.
It's going to be on there.
It's going to be on the feed and
exactly.
stuff like that.
And then I do the paid messages
Right.
every once in a while, but it's not my primary.
And that's one thing that I
Exactly.
appreciate about your feed is you put stuff up there, and then every once in a while you'll put something that's longer, like a
Right.
feature type message. But the stuff that you post is real good. So I
you.
appreciate that. And then also very honest too, and open, and you went through, you had an enhancement earlier this year. How
Yep.
was that? That
It was
about
good.
3 months ago?
Yeah, it was actually
2 months ago?
2
months
August.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually my second one. I
Mm-hmm.
had the surgery. It was a breast augmentation 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had lost a lot of weight since then, and I ended up getting capsular contracture. So the implants were not sitting the way that I wanted them to.
Right.
And with OnlyFans, I made the money pretty
Yeah.
quickly. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wait the 10, 15 years that you're supposed to get them replaced. So I did it. But
Well,
yeah,
good
it was
for
not
you.
bad. It was not bad at all.
That's great. And how do you feel about that? Because I know there's some people that are for it. There's some people against it. What made you want to get them in the first place?
I was always an A cup,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not super thin. I'm very kind of
You're
wide.
curvy,
Well, yeah,
Well,
but
but not some girls are curvy and
Yeah.
you're one big curve.
yeah,
But you have hips and everything.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I imagine you want more of the hourglass figure.
yes, I wanted more proportionate,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just super happy. I like them. I like boobs.
Well,
I do like
boobs
butts too, though.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, you have a great butt too.
Thanks.
So I'm a big fan. Like I said, what's the hardest part about doing OnlyFans?
Some of the requests that I get are nothing crazy, but I'm lazy sometimes. And if
Mm-hmm.
somebody reaches out and they're like, hey, can you do this? If I've got a lot of stuff going on with work or, just I get migraines too.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to make that content right away for people.
Right.
And then I just, that's the hard part for me is I want to go above and beyond for people, but then just sometimes I can't
Okay,
get it
so
right away.
just the people pleaser aspect
Yes,
of it.
exactly, yeah.
So can I give you a little advice?
Yes, go ahead.
They're willing to wait.
Okay.
So they want the content that they want, and yes, and if you're a jerk, then don't be that way.
Right, yeah.
But be patient
Yeah.
because, like you said, you have another life going on,
Right.
And this is something that you do to make extra money, and so, but say hey, this is if you make this request, it's going to take this amount of time to this amount of time,
Yeah.
and always over project.
Okay.
So that way, when you do it earlier, they'll be like, oh, you
Nice.
said it's going to be a week, and I got it in 2 days.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's good.
So-
Good tips. Thank you.
So, yeah. So subscribe to my OnlyFans. I actually do.
Hey, do
you
you?
do? Well, I mean, I have it because I have to have it to subscribe to other
Right,
people.
yeah.
But I just put up there that said, if you tip me $100,000, I'll send you a dick pic. So
That's the opposite of a lot of guys. They just
Yeah.
send it with no money
no,
request.
listen. This is a thing that's going to get me into a lot of trouble with my career.
Yeah.
So I need $100,000
Yeah.
for that dick pic to be sent. So, what's your favorite part of the OnlyFans situation? Other than the money, let's be
Right,
honest.
yeah,
the
the
money's the fucking best. Don't get it wrong. She's a sex worker, which I don't like that people try to put that term down. But that making that money is fantastic.
It is wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a confidence booster. I think that's
Yeah.
my favorite part is like, I used to be a lot bigger, I used to not wear makeup, stuff like that. So I was always like the funny friend of
Yeah.
my guys. Like I was just, like tomboy kind of thing, if you want to call it that. But it's just a huge confidence booster.
That's
I like
great.
seeing like the messages or, the comments and
feeling that way.
Yes, definitely.
And there's this weird faction of men that like to try and, like, especially on Instagram, you'll see women post pictures and they'd be like, you're so insecure, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're so insecure that you won't show yourself. And then you try to demean women that are just trying to, one, put their boobs and butt on the internet for you to look at.
Right.
And you're looking at it. So it seems like, there's some transaction that you're not really processing here correctly. But that little dick energy that a lot of guys
Right.
have where they try to talk down to women that are in this field or even if they, someone like Mary who just wants to post a cute selfie. It's like, she worked her ass off to get to where she's at. She looks great. Let her feel that confidence. And even if it is this whole thing where they try to make people feel bad about it, like it's some egotistical thing or some narcissistic thing. It's like, no, you like to feel good. Like when I
Right.
look good, I like to post pictures and feel good about it too.
Yes.
Like it's not that. But just men don't get the same reaction that women get.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I haven't gotten a lot of that. Every once in a while, there's one specific guy that will just message me about the type of guy I like. And it's because it's not him.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's because he's not, it's not.
Was this the guy that was trying to get on you, like, for not liking black guys?
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know if you're paying attention.
Right. Yeah.
Because, this is Salacious Slade, by the way. I
Hi.
didn't even actually introduce you by name.
That's okay.
So, yeah, but I'll make sure.
Yeah.
it's
It
all
was
in there.
just, And it's because I don't have content, with black men. It's not because I don't want to. How do you navigate asking a friend like, hey, do you want to go on my OnlyFans?
Right,
with
yeah,
me?
that's, yeah.
Yeah, so he equates it, he just says like, I don't understand how you can be so passionate about Black Lives Matter, but you're married to a white guy. I don't have a preference on your race, your background, your gender. Like, I don't know. There's something going on there, but.
Well, that's like I said, that's that insecurity that he has about the whole thing. Like, I'm very passionate about Black Lives Matter as well. I'm also not married to a black guy.
Yeah, right.
So come at me, bro.
Right.
Come at me.
I don't know. Maybe I have to have a boyfriend, girlfriend of all, races.
Well, and you would.
Right.
Like,
I would if I could.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not something that's holding you back. Now,
Right.
when you do stuff like that, because I know you are, is it the group play lifestyle or swinger lifestyle, whatever I don't know what you like to refer to it as.
I hate the term swingers.
And that's why I didn't,
I hate the term, but I mean, that's essentially what we are. Yeah. We hook up with a lot of, friends and.
Now, do you go to the clubs or do you guys kind of set up your own parties?
We've been to the clubs before. They're a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know who you're going to get there.
Yeah.
But they're fun regardless.
Yeah.
Like I do enjoy like the exhibitionism. So
Mm-hmm.
I like people watching. So even if we don't hook up with somebody at the club, it's fun.
It's
to
fun
have
to just
people
go there
watch.
and do it and then have people watching. Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have friends down in the Southern Ohio area that we usually get together at least like once a month, not during COVID, but we have house parties. They're so much fun.
That's a lot of fun. My girlfriend's pretty open. I've talked about, we recently had a threesome and that was very cool. And like, that's one thing that like I was talking to some of my friends the other night about like their situations and their girlfriends are very jealous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm lucky because my girlfriend's very open about things like this. Like, so to the point where if a girl's flirting with me, I'll be like, hey, come check this out. Like, and I try to do it very respectfully where I'm like, hey, I'm talking to this girl.
Yeah.
And then like, I try to really only do it when she's around.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, something will happen, then I'll tell her about it later. But I really want to keep those lines of communication open to be respectful. And that's something that I feel like is important when you're doing something like that. But yeah, my girl will step in and then she'll take over.
Oh,
and then
yes, I love that.
And then we'll get way better stuff.
Right, yeah.
She's into it. She's as she likes to refer to herself, she's a horny bitch.
You know what? I get it.
Yeah. So you guys should hang out sometime.
Yes,
What I'm saying.
I'm down. Yeah.
She's
Always down for new
she's
friends.
running errands today, so
No.
she wasn't here. But in the future, I hope you guys can hang out. Anything else you want to plug or mention on this before we go?
Nothing.
How
that I
do
can really
people find you on OnlyFans?
My username is SalaciousXSlade. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and OnlyFans. Make it easy that way.
There you go. And I'll link it, of course. And yeah, check it out. It's great content. She just got new boobs. They're big. They look great.
Thank you.
And I'm very, very big fan, like I said.
Yay,
All right.
you.
Well, thanks for coming
following.
by. And
Thank
follow
you.
her. Make sure you guys
Please,
follow her.
yes.
Please follow her. Even if it's just on Instagram or Twitter.
Right.
It's a gateway to the OnlyFans.
Exactly. It gets a little,
And she does custom videos too that are real good.
I
Big
do.
fan.
Yep.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
This is the Bill Squire Show.